everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine and I am the Glamazon. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get some basic winged liner. This is the question I get asked the most, is like, how do you do winged liner? Like, how do you make it happen? How is it so sharp? How is it so flaky? And I'm like, girl, you practice and you use lots of concealer. Lots of it. Okay, but seriously, it's a question I get asked a lot, especially at my beauty counter. There's always women like coming to my counter and they're like, oh, like, can you please show me how to do winged eyes? And I'm like, you gotta practice. I can do it for you all day and I can show you, but I can't go home with you. But I'm going home with you guys because you have this video here to watch to see how to do it. So yeah, so if you want to know how to get on fleek Instagram quality winged liner, then please just keep watching. Okay, so before you even start trying to draw those fabulous wings on your face, you need the right tools. So there's a number of different ways you can draw winged liner on your face. You can use liquid, you could use a pencil if you're that comfortable. You could use, you know, gel, or whatever wing liner tool you want to use. There's no right or wrong thing. So I just have a few things here to show you what I use to get my winged liner. So the first thing I'm going to show you is going to be this Wet n Wild Megliner. It's in the color Black Noir. It's a liquid eyeliner, and I love this because it comes in a little pot, so I can control how much I'm using, whereas like if you get one of those little pins, you can't really, it just comes out and that's what you get. But here I can determine like how much product I want, and I can trace out a line first, and it comes with this little teeny tiny little edge, see right there, and you get that perfect little flick when you do it. Yep. Also, a good thing to use is gel liner. I like this because it's the smoothest. It goes on your eye like, I don't know how to explain it, like this the smoothest. When you have liquid liner, it kind of bleeds a little bit, and when you have gel, it kind of just glides over the eye. So what you put down is what you put down. You're not gonna have like any like bleeding up into any like extra skin, or maybe like any wrinkles that you might have on your lids. The only downside to liquid liner is that it might dry out, and you would want to use some type of like Duraline, like by Inglot, and that would create more moisture in it, so it would be easier to use. Sometimes I like to use Duraline to create liquid liner with my gel liner, just because it makes it easier to use at times. The gel liner that I use also comes from Inglot, like the Duraline. It is the creamiest gel liner I have ever used, like, to date. Like, it honestly feels like Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, but it's an eyeliner. Great stuff. The other thing that I like to use is kind of like a newbie thing for me. It's the Tarteist clay paint liner. It comes in like a bunch of different colors, or it did in the holiday set, but I know they sell the black one like everywhere. So this one's really cool because you still get to control how much product you get. It has like this little pot thing up here at the top. So you just squeeze out as much as you need or as little as you need. It's very much like a consistency between liquid and clay. Very pigmented, stays on the eye for a really long time, very easy to work with, which is what you want, especially if you're just starting out and you don't know what you're doing. So if you're gonna choose one of the clay options or gel options, or liquid pot options, you definitely need an applicator, and the best applicators I find are, one, a little pencil brush like so. See, it's got this little tip, and by the time you put it in the liner, it kind of condenses, and it's like really skinny and really pointed. I like this just to get the line like across the top of the eyelid right here. It just makes it easy because it just goes in one like solid motion. It's also good for just getting like the very edges of your liner and just getting that nice like little flick, like, well, not the flick, but the line itself, and then you can go back and create the flick. So the other brush that I like to use is this angled brush. This one is from Morphe. It's the M160 brush. It says 1/8, which means it's tiny AF. And it's really good to get that straight angled line that you need for your wing, okay? And it helps you change the degree very easily. So by the time you get the line across your eye, then with this, you can determine, how like, I don't know, your angle, your degree. So if you want it straight out, or if you want your wing a little more up towards your eyebrow, it definitely helps you get that straight angle. It's like a protractor for your eye. Let's go with that. So now I've showed you all the tools that I use to get winged liner, let's get into it, and I will show you actually how I get the winged liner. But I'm going to use a combination of a few products just so you can see how they work. Okay, so I got you up close and personal so you can see what is going on up in here. So the first thing I'm going to use is the Wet n Wild Megliner that we discussed. And I'm just going to take it out of the pot like this, and I like to clean it off so it doesn't have like a crap ton of product on it, because honestly when it comes out of there it's like glopped up and gooped up with product or whatever. It's disgusting, kind of, honestly, just a little bit. And I like to get, here I'll just get you like real as close as you can get. So the first thing you want to do is you kind of want to see like where your lash line is, like your bottom lash line. You kind of want to line it up with there. And then you also, at this moment in time, because there's no going back after this, you want to decide if you're going to have a wing that's going to be more like straight out from your lash line, or if you want it straight up from your lash line, like more towards your eyebrow. And there's totally a difference. Because if you do one thing on one side, you got to do it to the other. And you don't want to have one lash that's like this and have one lash that's like this, because then you're going to be looking crazy. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to go more for like a straight out wing liner. So I just do like this. So my lash line is kind of like here, if you can see that. So I'm going to draw from here to here. And you also want to make very small strokes, so if you mess up, you can fix it without having to destroy your face first. And so there is that line. And I kind of like, when I started to draw, and I drew one little bit at a time, and then when I got to the end of where I wanted to be, I just flicked it out. And so that creates that sharpness. Now in the event that it's not sharp, just know that you can always go back and fix it, but I'll show you that later. So now that I have this line drawn, I'm going to go ahead and draw this line, because you don't want to draw your whole wing on your eye and then, I don't know, like try to go back and draw the same way on the other eye, because it could come out like not the same. So you want to make sure you have the same angle going on both lines with your basic line before you draw the whole thing over your eye, because once you draw the whole thing over your eye, there's no going back. Okay, so I've got two lines going on. I've got this one and I've got this one, and they look pretty similar. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and make our second line to make a triangle, and then we're going to fill it in to create the wing. So I like to go like maybe like where the middle of where I made the wing, and go ahead and close it off, because I like my end of my wing to be like skinny and like long. So yeah, so you just put the brush about here and go in. And normally your eye would be closed for this, but I'm a weirdo and my eye is open. Okay? So now I have my little triangle going on. Looks like I got some weird graphic liner going. But at this point, like, you know that the wing is going to be the same on the other side just because the angle is the same. So you can go ahead and fill it in. I like to fill this in with the liquid already right here just because it's easy. And you can just clean up any edges with whatever's left on the brush. You don't need to add any more product. And then I'm just gonna take this clay liner, and I'm just gonna push up a little bit of product. Oh, that was a lot of it. A lot. I'm gonna take the pencil brush and just make sure the end is saturated in the clay, and then I'm gonna draw a solid line across the top of my lash line. So you can really start this anywhere you want it to go. You can go all the way to the inner corner of your eye. You can start in the middle of your eye. I like to start like right where my iris is and like draw over. And then just kind of go in the corner and like fill it in. And then if you have any dips or anything like that, you can obviously just fill it in where it needs to be seen. There's no really instruction for that. You just kind of eyeball it. So like right here, I have a small little gap, so I'll just fix it there. So now we have our winged liner on. It looks pretty decent. That one looks wonky, but that's on purpose because I'm going to show you how to fix it. And then this one is the pretty perfect one. So in the event that you make it kind of funky like this, you can always go back and fix it. So you just take some concealer and like a small little, I don't know, like a small little shading brush. Is that what we're calling it? We're going to call it a shading brush. And you just put like a dot of foundation on the back of your hand like this. You take it in the concealer like this. And you just get really up close and personal, and you just clean up your mistakes. You kind of use it like an eraser. So I'm just going to clean up this like this. So bang. And then it's perfect. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could leave it like that and it would look like really cool, but I'm going to blend it out. Alright guys, so that is basically my winged liner routine. I mean, some days I don't use two products. Honestly, some days it's just liquid liner. It's just boom, boom, fill it in. But I just, for the sake of showing you how to use different products, I use two. You can also just use that one pencil brush with the clay liner and create that same line and go back in. You don't need more than one product. It's just, again, for the sake of showing you. At this point, you would go ahead and put on your mascara, your lashes, and you would go out and you would have you a good ass day because you're gonna have some banging ass wings, okay? But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future tutorials and or, you know, slaying goodness, because who wants to miss that? And yeah, also give this video a thumbs up if you learned something. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye. Now it's like juicy, so I just want you to know.